Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is a double portion, Bahar B'chukotai. And I want to talk a little bit about it because it probably has some information in it that'll be a surprise to some of you. The purpose of some of the laws in this week's Torah portion is to prevent the permanent poverty on the part of some people by allowing the accumulation of landed wealth in the hands of a few. That isn't from some modern day wacko communist manifesto. That is from Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch, a very distinguished, well-known Orthodox commentator on the Torah, writing in the 19th century. This week's Torah portion has at its core a number of different features, but a lot of the individual laws in this week's Torah portion have to do with, for example, the Jubilee year, the 50th year, during which land reverts to its original owners. Now, this is a complicated process, and it also comes at the end and in the midst of a bunch of other really economic rules, laws, regulations, call it whatever you want, that are in the Torah itself. And while many of us as Jews talk a lot about things like kashrut or things like ritual, how to celebrate Shabbat, or life cycles, how we do life cycles, or how we pray, the Torah is also full of some other information and some other commandments. And in this week's portion, those commandments are largely economic commandments. Why? Well, as Samson Raphael Hirsch points out, and as many other traditional Orthodox, Reform, conservative commentators point out, the goal of the economic rules and regulations in this week's portion is to prevent the concentration of wealth in the hands of a few. Now, admittedly, that idea sounds a little bit like something we don't like. But what the Torah recognizes is that when you create an environment, an economic environment, in which the accumulation of wealth in the hands of a few is permitted, it disadvantages a far larger group of people in ways that make it impossible for those people ever to get out of that poverty. And again, this isn't my own opinion. This is the opinion of many commentators and many people who write about the economic rules, regulations, and laws of the Torah. Now, it's important to note that Judaism doesn't believe that anyone should live in poverty, and Judaism doesn't believe that anyone should take a vow of poverty. Judaism does not support asceticism. Judaism does not support the concentration of wealth in the hands of the few. Judaism supports striking a balance, and the economic rules and regulations in this week's Torah portion attempt to do just that, to strike a balance between making sure that every member of society has something and some people don't have everything. It's certainly an ethical lesson, a moral lesson, an economic lesson that perhaps we can learn a little bit from. So I hope you're going to come out to the synagogue tonight, the Temple Judea. Hope you're going to join us for worship at 6:15. I hope you're going to listen and learn about this week's Torah portion and understand what Judaism has to say about some very, very important and highly relevant economic ideas that impact our lives and have a specific Jewish teaching and spin. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. I want to wish all of you Shabbat Shalom.